Hey everyone, how's it going? Yeah, so in the vein of the last beer video I made, we actually started playing around with some other stuff too. And basically, I think that we found a couple things that are kind of cool, maybe not necessarily the most useful. At least the first one may not be. The second one kind of is actually. But basically, while doing beer experiments, we came up with a couple new things that you could do. So the first trick would be a beer barrel that just generates liquid without having to do anything other than connecting it to a pipe. So yeah, all you have to do is if you just change the recipe to just water, and then you just plumb it in, it'll just generate the beer liquid for you. You don't actually have to add any ingredients. So why don't I go ahead and load that up and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so yeah, here I am in game. I still have the same beer barrel setup as before. I got it plumbed in right now with these pipes here, and it goes up next to my little shack here. And go ahead and check inside. As you can see, there's nothing in there. And why don't I go ahead and we'll set the cheat slow mode at 10, which is the fastest it can go. And it may take a couple of minutes. Let's see if I get back in there. So I'll go ahead and pause it right here, and I won't move anything until they appear. And it's in. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. Maybe I'll go ahead and I'll actually sit and record it and let it go so you guys believe me. And I'll just speed this part up. Alright, so it finally appeared. It took a lot longer than I thought it would, even with the slow mode 10. I think in real time that normally takes 6 hours to appear. So I'm going 10 times that speed right now, I think. It's the fastest you can set the cheat to. So anyhow, yeah, that works. Alright. Let's slow it down a bit here and back to normal speed. So on the next trick, we're gonna talk about irrigation. As you probably know, it is somewhat difficult to set the irrigation up for these beer barrels. You have to place them just right, and they don't want to get irrigated. And it's a real pain in the butt. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the settings again. We're going to demolish this pipe so it's no longer irrigated. And notice that there's no irrigation animation going on either. It's just straight up not irrigating for sure. Ah, bollocks. Alright, so we'll place a new one. That'll be even better. So I'll go ahead and place that. Okay, so obviously there's nothing connected to it, no irrigation. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back in the beacon and we're going to change this. And again, there's no animation for the irrigation either. And that's important to notice. And boy, I'm riddled with technical glitches today. Okay, so I'm going to try this one more time. We're going to, this time we're going to make beer. And we're going to change the recipe to remove water. And that will prevent us from needing to actually irrigate the beer barrel. It'll make it without irrigation. I will set Azelberry as the, I did that wrong, Azelberry. We're going to set the recipe to be only one Azelberry will make beer. I'm going to go ahead and clean this out too while I'm at it. And what we did was, so we don't need to put the thatch in, and we don't need water, and that means we don't have to irrigate the beer barrel. So let's see how it goes. Let's deploy. And we're done deploying, and let's go back into Arc, and I'm going to pause it while I get situated. Okay, I'm back. Let's go ahead and first we'll start by placing a new barrel, and then we're going to open it up, and we're just going to put the berries in it. And if all goes well, it will make beer with it not being irrigated. So as you can tell, it's not irrigated at this time. And let's turn the slow-mo on and see how it goes, huh? I'll go ahead and leave it running like I did last time. Alright, finally went. I was a little concerned there for a minute. When I did this last time, oh, now it's, you see that? Whoops. See, now it's irrigating. You see the irrigation animation, although it's not actually irrigated. I don't know why it wasn't doing it at first. Maybe it had to officially make one before that started, but as you can tell, it's definitely not irrigated, and it's definitely making beer. And but there is irrigation animation, so I guess that's what I saw the first time. I was kind of confused. So now that, yeah, you can tell a lot better now that I slowed it down. Actually, that doesn't even look like it's the right animation either. It must be some kind of weird glitch going on. I don't know. Anyhow, yeah. So yeah, you can make beer without connecting it to pipes, which is actually significantly more useful than the other trick that I just showed you, as well as a trick in my last video about this, where the you can actually make beer instantaneous. So if you want to see that video, check that one out. Pretty much you can set the recipe for a beer jar to be water or a berry or whatever, and instead of going through the rigmarole of the beer generating and then adding a jar to it, it'll just automatically convert the berry or whatever it is into the beer jar. And that's about it. There is one other thing that you could do. It's not really worth recording, but you can also make the recipe for beer jar to be just beer without the jar. So as soon as the beer actually generates, it would make it into a jar for you automatically. It doesn't really save any time to do that, but it does prevent or allow for a little bit easier time in making beer. But at the same time, then you get all those glass jars, which I believe you can grind into resources. So that's probably not a great idea. So anyhow, hope you liked it.